We are diamonds from the sky that have fallen to the ground on the diamond discovery. We are becoming all we're meant to be.
This is a Diamond Discovery production brought to you by our sponsor, Creative Storage Solutions. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you for tuning in to the Diamond Discovery podcast, where there are no limits to sharing hidden gems discovered. Because living your best life isn't about just one thing, it's about everything. Welcome to the Diamond Discovery podcast. Today, we are hosting a very special video cast for our debut episode, and I'm so excited because we are bringing you this interview with diamonds that we've discovered. They are radiant gems who are illuminated in their brilliance, and they are making a difference in the world. So that's the reason I chose you two diamonds, Tinamarie Passantino and your daughter, Josie Passantino-Boone, the founders of the Josie Music Awards. I chose you because of the way you have blessed my life and so many other independent artists around the world. And if you don't mind, I'd like to start by sharing the way you have impacted my life. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, because I not only want the listeners to hear this, but this is a way that I can thank you guys personally and share my story of how you made this Utah girl's dreams come true. So thank you very much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having us. Thank you.
I just love you guys so much.
Oh, you too. This is so much fun.
Years ago, after my brother passed away, my life began to totally fall apart. My heart was shattered, and I was forced into what I call the darkest night of my soul. I ended up leaving my career of 24 years, and I became so broken and so lost that writing songs were seriously my only path to healing. Right. And after recording here in St. George, I ended up traveling to Miami and Nashville to make music, and it appeared to everyone else I was in midlife crisis. You know?
Right.
Yep. While giving my music wings to fly, most everyone around me could only see the money it was costing me and the time that was spent away from my family and my kids and my community. But no matter how much resistance I felt or how many people thought I was so crazy and selfish, I just couldn't keep myself from my mission of bringing healing to myself and to others through my music. So I want you guys to know that there were years I had this aching inside of me for people to just understand and to validate this new dream of mine. But then this miraculous thing started happening because of the beautiful gift of the internet and Facebook. And the world finally had access to my music. Numerous people who had lost loved ones started reaching out and messaging me both day and night about how my music had brought them healing and peace after the loss of a loved one. And it was in this time I finally let go of needing to prove anything with my music, because I knew with every ounce of my being that it was serving its purpose.
Right.
But knowing my music was bringing healing to others, that's what brought this new fire and passion that sparked me to do a new updated and unplugged version of my Angel. And I'm so glad I did. 6 months later, I found out my Angel was up for a Josie Music Award. And I'm not even positive what category it is in, because what category I was nominated in at first, because of a very special thing you guys had planned for me. And I know you plan this for everybody. You have special things planned every year. So that's why I'm telling this story, because I was already over the moon excited and honored and so shocked. And so was everybody else. You're up for an award. What do you mean? You're from Utah. What do you mean? You're 40. How can this be happening? But there would be more, because a couple months later, Tinamarie called me and I found out that the award show would be at Dollywood. And I was given, Dollywood. I'm Dollywood, right?
Yeah.
I was going to be given the opportunity to perform inside Dollywood on the Celebrity Theater stage. And I want you two to know in that moment, it was when my biggest childhood dream that I had forgotten of singing in the mirror, islands in this dream to Dolly, that I figured out that I remembered that I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. And that's not the only dream too. I mean, as if that wasn't enough. After I performed on that stage, I left that stage, I mean, the biggest performance of my life. And I sat in my seat in that theater. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this was so unexpected. I was given the very first ever Josie Music Award Inspirational Song of the Year. And I just know you guys that every moment of this journey that led to that moment, that I knew my baby brother who I had dedicated my music to, was the angel that helped make it all happen. And still to this day, it's one of my most spiritual experiences because of all of you.
And
that's beautiful.
You know what, you guys, I just want to tell you that this day and every award show since was not only a dream come true for me, but numerous other artists, thousands who have been nominated and those who have won, of course. And the most amazing part of it all are the stories behind the music, the stories behind the artist, and the struggles and the challenges they've been through to get where they are that day when they're up there standing on that stage and you guys are presenting their award. I mean, talk about tears. I want the fans to know that they need to be there, because many of these artists have been sponsored to even be able to get to the award show because every last dime they make is put into creating their music. And don't forget their blood, sweat, and tears. And I don't know why this is, but doesn't it seem like many artists have to fight for their dreams to come true?
They do. Always.
Fight for their dream.
Yeah.
And fight to be heard. Yeah.
Fight to be heard and recognized. And that's what you guys do. Yeah. And before I end, I just want to tell you guys that every year you top yourself. Every year it gets better and better. The inspiration is stronger. The talent gets more unmatched, but the connections and the artists and the stories behind everything just remains the greatest part. So what I want to tell you, Tinamarie and Josie, and of course, Vito and Matt, is thank you with all my heart. Thank you with all my heart for the way you bless the lives of independent artists around the world and the way you bless mine, because you're most definitely, I've watched this, you are spiritually guided in every decision you make. And so many lives are forever blessed and changed because you guys follow your heart in your purpose and your mission. So like I've told you many times, I honestly pray every day for all that you give, you will continue to be blessed a millionfold.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That means so much to us.
That means a lot.
And honestly, we love what we do, and we love it mainly because of how people react to it. Like what you just said to us. I mean, that's what we do it for. Is we're hoping to make an impact. We're hoping to help people and heal people, through music, because music could be so healing. It really can. It could take you out of the most darkest moments of your life. And you and I both know that I've dealt with mental health issues. I have OCD and comorbid anxiety and depression. And I mean, it has dug me out of those holes where I thought I couldn't, come back up from. So, and I'm hoping to share, myself and share my story to help others also through music.
And I watch you do that. And I watch so many other people, like that's their story getting there too. You help them conquer and conquer their fears and like finally be recognized. It's so amazing. Yeah. So before we dive into what you all are most famous for, which is the Josie Music Awards, I want to go back, Josie, when you were just a 14-year-old teenager, and I knew you. I watched you. Like, it's crazy. You had this big dream in your heart to be in radio. And then I want to talk to your mom about how much her and your dad, Vito, helped you to make this dream come true.
Right. Well, it's so funny because... It's funny because, back then I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I was 14 years old. I was just trying to, have like a fun after school activity, something to do to get out of trouble and pass the time. And I had a couple friends who wanted to do it with me. And eventually they decided they no longer wanted to do it. But I got the bug for it. I was like, I want to do this. I don't know how I can do it by myself, but I want to do it. I was booking guests. My first guest was Katie Cook. that's when I realized, hey,
Wow.
that's incredible. And I'm able to talk to these incredible people that I've seen on TV or, heard on the radio. I was like, this is an incredible thing. And, it got to be very busy with my school schedule and all of that. So my mom actually quit her job to full time help me along my journey with the Josie show. And I started at 14 in 2009. And there wasn't a lot of places at that time that promoted independent artists. So I found a lot of independent artists out there wanted to promote their craft, talk about their music, share their project and their upcoming projects. And so I would have them on and they would be forever grateful, to be able to have that opportunity to talk to somebody about their music on my platform. So, and that I still do to this day, every Thursday. So I love it.
Thank you. And I love it. I love listening. And Tina,
Thank
you
you.
quit your job? Tell us about
it.
She did.
I did. Well, it became a point where she was young. One, she couldn't sign her own contracts. Two, she had so much going on and still had to do school at the same time. And at the time, she was in public school, and they were not thrilled to death with her having other things besides school.
Yeah, I don't think they understood it.
They didn't really get it. And, they just made things really difficult. So we went on a little hunt, and I managed to find a school for Josie where they work with children who are already working on their career. So people like children that are in the Olympics or actors and actresses who are still children, things like that. And so they took Josie on, which was awesome. So she just completely flourished from the second that she entered that school, and that was great. She was able to do her career. She was able to talk about it. She was able to, work with the teachers and all those kinds of things. So it really worked out great. But at that point, we realized that, the traditional school setting wasn't going to work. We had to do something different. And I needed to be there to help her. It was just a lot. And so that's what I decided to do. It sounded like a fun career change.
Wow. You know what? That is amazing. I haven't heard that story. And you two are inspiring so many people, like children around the world, to know their biggest dreams can come true, and parents to see that it's so important to support our kids in those dreams. So thank you for that.
And to look outside of the box. I mean, had people not told me, that there are other ways to get legal credit for school, and to, she ended up really flourishing. I would have never looked for, something secondary like that. I would have never, even thought that was really an option. I know you hear about school on set for kids who work as actresses and actors, but you never know that there's so many other fields that they help as well. So always think outside of the box. Don't just think the traditional way is the only way, because if there isn't a road for it, you make your own road and you figure it out.
Yeah, and I think her help. I loved what you just said. Yeah, it's true. And my mom coming onto this, I think actually helped us a lot better because we were such a great team. She's a great business mind. I mean, she's a business major. She's she has that business mind of hers, and I have that more creative, out there, want to meet people, talk to people, hear people's stories. So I think the two of us combined, once she came on board, it really started to take off with the Josie show. And then we were trying to find other avenues that we can promote artists. And then, Country Blast Radio came about. So I was able to play artists' music. And then, of course, the Josie Music Awards was born from there. So it's been a snowball effect.
So awesome. Our listeners today have probably guessed what the Josie Music Awards is all about from my introduction and from you talking. But to give you the proper description, the Josie Music Awards is an all-genre music award show ceremony, which includes a lavish red carpet and interviews and many performances. And since its first annual award show celebration in 2015, the Josie Music Awards is, and remains the largest independent artist award show globally, from a dream that started in a 14-year-old's heart. So I tell us, Josie and Tina, how did the radio journey lead to the Josie Music Awards?
I think it just all happened. We were just trying to find another opportunity for artists to be celebrated and for artists to have another platform to be able to perform. And there wasn't many of those platforms back then, you know, and so I was like, you know what can we do? And it was just a natural progression. Honestly, we were like, well, how about we do an award show where we are able to do this, you know, annually. We're able to celebrate artists, award artists for all of the great work that they do, and then also have a stage for artists to be able to perform and showcase to the world. And so it really was a natural progression. And in 2015, we did not think it was going to be what it was. It's hilarious. You always tell this funny story about how it grew from that one year. We just did not expect it.
So it's funny because, you know, for me, you know, there are independent artists who will be independent artists their whole life because that's what they choose to do.
They choose it.
They are in charge of their own destiny. They can say yes or no. They can do what they want and what they don't want. And it's just becoming more popular now, and just a better way sometimes of doing things. You know, there's a handful of major record labels out there, but they can't sign the whole world. So, you know, realistically, you've got to pave your own way. And I just felt that if there was someone that is successful, like this is all they do, they're an independent artist, they go out, they perform shows, they're able to make a living, they can fill a stadium, they can do all those kinds of things, then they need to be celebrated too. Just because, you know, they're not on a major label doesn't mean they don't need to be celebrated. So for me, it was just making people feel celebrated, having them come in and feel like they were a part of something great and that they were going to have, you know, an awesome time and get to meet people and, you know, really turn into what we call a big music family, but they're really just going to turn into a great group of people, you know, who can work together and collab and stuff as we move on. But when we started to go in 2015, we have to tell you about that. That was so fun. So we rented a little banquet room originally at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. And we started, you know, we were like, oh, maybe 50 people will come. This will be so fun. We could celebrate everybody. Yay. You know, we were so excited. And then we got to about 500 people and I contacted them back and I said, hey, we have 500 people. Is that still going to work? And she's like, oh, goodness. She said, how about this? We'll give you our Springs building. That's a freestanding building. You can have the whole thing, fill it up to your thing. I said, okay, great. We get to 1,000 people. And I call her back and I said, we're still good, right? And she's like, no. So we were lucky enough to know this gentleman. His name is Sonny, and he plans tours and concerts and stuff like that for legendary artists, right? So he has always been so grateful, so gracious to Josie, and we've been so grateful for him. And so we called him up and said, hey, we got this situation.
We got this situation.
And I'll never forget. He's like, oh, you girls. He's like, you're going to have to split the show. We never even thought of that. So we're like, okay. So that first year we ended up with a matinee show and an evening show. We go through the whole matinee show, right? It is so wonderful. Like we had the best time of our lives. Everybody was so happy. And it was just so much fun. And so we get done. We put everything we had into it. We were exhausted. Okay. We put everything we had into it. Everybody's leaving. Goodbye. We do that whole thing. And we're like, oh my goodness, that was so amazing. And before we could even breathe, people start walking in. And I looked at Josie, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to do it all over again. I'm exhausted.
You know what? It's so funny. It's just, it never gets old. It really never does. And, you know, from that first year, I feel like it's doubled and tripled. And you know, this upcoming year, we had 54,000 plus submissions get sent in to us. So it just shows. Yeah. It just shows how much independent music has grown.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have paved the way. And you know that saying, build it and they will come. Man, they came. The very first year, right?
So it was so fun.
You're such a powerful mother-daughter duo, total boss babes, and with the biggest hearts. And you know what I love? It never gets old to you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're living the life your soul's meant to live and living your purpose. But so often we hear that families shouldn't work together, can't work together. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love working with my daughters too. You can be real and raw and you're building something as a family together. But I just wanted to know if you guys had a favorite project that the two of you work on together, and also like out of all your brands, because you have lots of brands we'll get to, but also what's something fun you love to do together when you're not working?
We're not working.
So let's see here.
We're not working.
I know. I know. I was like, this should be a very easy question. But like you said, it isn't for everybody. Not everybody is able to work with family. It could get, messy, but luckily we have that great relationship. And I think when we're not working, we do love seeing a good movie. We love,
we relax when we're not working.
We relax. Yeah, we relax when we're not working. Really. We love going to the movies.
We watch some of our British soap operas.
Yes, there you go. Something people don't know about us. We love British soap operas. Yeah, see, exclusive.
EastEnders, it's our thing.
EastEnders is our thing. We love it. Check it out, y'all. But it's just when we're not busy, working and doing what we're doing, we're definitely chilling and talking and trying to, come up with more ideas that we can do to help others. So
we're always working.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, you go back to 2015 and it was at the
Springs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you moved it to the Springs. So tell us every year after that where it was at, and then tell us where it's going to be this year. I mean, is it Dollywood? Is it going to get any better than Dollywood, right?
Just when you think, right? Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have been at the Nissan Stadium. We have been at the Schermerhorn Symphony Center. Then we were at Dollywood, Country Tonight Theater. And now we are at the Grand Ole Opry House.
Grand Ole Opry, people, the Grand Ole Opry House. Josie Awards. Oh my gosh. I have been doing cartwheels ever since I heard, really in my mind.
Me too.
Yeah. And congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you guys. And
thank you so much.
It's true for you guys too. All the artists, but also you,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a huge dream come true for us.
Dream venue.
Yeah. And you deserve it. You deserve it. I'm so happy for you guys. And this is your biggest year yet. And as if having it at the Grand Ole Opry isn't enough, tell us about the other events you have created and you have in store for the independent artists, the musicians, and of course the fans.
Yes. So we have 2 days of events this year, which I'm so excited about. So the day before the award show, October 22nd, we have our very first annual JMA Fest. And I'm so excited. We're going to be taking over the Music Valley Village area. We'll be taking over stages and have events in the Nashville Palace, Scoreboard, Music City Bar and Grill, and the Troubadour Nashville, and Mystic Studios. Yes. So many stages are coming in on this with us. So we are able, and an outside stage, weather permitting. But we have so many different opportunities for independent artists to be able to showcase their stuff. We'll also have events in between. So if people want to go and check out our full schedule of events and performers, they can go to jmafest.com. And this is free admission, which is wonderful. The whole fest. Yes, the whole fest is free admission. So you can go to each, different venue and check out all of the great talent and check out the events. The only events that you have to have a wristband, that you have to have a ticket for, would be the networking mixer and the headlining concert with Craig Campbell. Yes, I'm so excited. I love him. He is the best because he has the great song "Outskirts of Heaven," which we actually played at my husband Matt's dad's funeral. So that just shows how much of a fan we are of Craig Campbell. So when we had that opportunity to be able to have him come down, we're so excited. We can't wait to see him perform. And you can get tickets at jmafest.com for that. And then the next day is, of course, the award show, the 8th annual Josie Music Awards, and tickets are still on sale now at Josie Music. Yeah, the Grand Ole Opry House there in Nashville, Tennessee. And you can get tickets to that at josiemusicawards.com/tickets. That's the best and easiest way.
That's amazing. And remember, it's not just for the artists. This is for the fans. So we want to make sure that the fans know that they're included because
they are, because they're going to see some great acts. They really are. I mean, we have like William Lee Golden and the Goldens. I'm sure everybody knows William Lee Golden from the Oak Ridge Boys. Yes, we have country legend Lacey J. Dalton joining us. Yes, we have the Heels coming in from Canada to perform. We have the Goodwin Brothers, Annie Dukes, which is a great rock and roll girl group.
Yeah.
Boss Babes, indeed.
Yeah, Boss Babes.
The Malphus Brothers, yes.
Awesome.
So you can check out the full list of performers at josiemusicawards.com. But this is for the fans too, because y'all are this is open to the public, all ages. Grand Ole Opry House is an all ages venue. So there is nothing that's going to be on the stage that, your grandma can't watch, everybody's going to love it. Yes, bring the kids, and you'll see some really great acts that day for sure.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of surprises. I know that.
Yes, we have so many different surprises. Yes.
You always do. And it's always amazing. I am extremely passionate about bringing awareness to our mental health and suicide awareness platforms. And because I follow you guys on social media and I know you well, I see it's something that you're passionate about too. And I want to congratulate you, Josie, on how much you've grown in not letting the opinions of others break you. Because I know you've been through a lot. And I've seen how you've worked on your own mental health and how you inspire others to do the same. I mean, I just can't help but notice when you share it. I mean, it's a vulnerable space, but when you share, you really help others. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind touching a little bit on this and tell us what strengths you've gained in order to be successful in your career path and in life. I mean, it's helped you in your life too.
Right. It has. When I was younger, I had no idea what was going on in my head. I mean, I had never heard of anything like, OCD or, anxiety, depression. I didn't know what it was. And my mom didn't know, really what any of that was, or my dad. We had mental health in our family line, but there wasn't really a name for it. They didn't, they never really went to doctors. So there was no diagnosis or what was going on. So I honestly thought, what is going on with me? Am I crazy? What's happening? My friends are able to run around and, they're playing and not a care in the world. And here I am, sitting out on the sidelines, having heart palpitations, panic attacks, and just feeling like literally a cloud over my head. And so I took the first steps. That's the first steps really to healing is to get help. And so for the longest time, I didn't even tell, really any family or anything what was going on in my head. I eventually, of course, told my mom, and we got a great psychologist, Dr. Woods. We love her so much. And so she did tests and she figured it out. She said, you have OCD, which is, for those that don't know, obsessive compulsive disorder. And mine is in the form of not washing hands and stuff like that, where you normally see on TV. Mine is more repetitive, scary, intrusive thoughts, like fears of dying or a family member dying, or something might be wrong with me. Scary things like that. And that's a constant thing that goes on in my head. And so at first I found it as, just a hindrance. I was like, I was embarrassed. I didn't want to go out places. I didn't leave the house for a really long time. And, my friends would call and be like, hey, you want to go out to, the mall, or you want to go out here? And, I'm having a panic attack. I'm too scared to leave the house. What if something bad happens to me? So I stayed in the house. And I think that is the reason why I started the Josie show. I wanted to do something. And, I knew that I can do that from the house, but I'm also connecting with people. I'm also reaching out and talking to people, hearing other people's stories. And I figured out that mental health is something that a lot of people deal with. It isn't something just that you have, Josie, this isn't just you. There's millions and millions and millions of people in the world that deal with the same thoughts that I was having. And so from there on, I am the type of person that I just want to bring awareness to it. I want to help others. So I'm hoping, any little girl or any little boy out there that, may be listening or see what I'm doing. They see, yeah, I have this. I have depression. I have PTSD. I have OCD. I have bipolar. Whatever you may have, you can still do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Reach out, get help. If you need to take medication, take medication. I take medication. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The most important thing is to take care of your mental health, because if you don't take care of your mental health, the brain is the most powerful, most powerful thing. So I just hope that others can take from my journey and see, hey, she's doing this. She's, pushing herself. She's going out in public. She's, doing her thing. She's making a career out of it. I can too, So that's pretty much what I'm doing at this point, is just trying to help others.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, because looking at you, people would never think that. Isn't
exactly
it crazy how people looking from the outside in? I mean, how is she so bubbly on radio there, and right. When she's out in public, how could she possibly suffer from mental illness, and our mental health is the very most important. It's the very first most important, our physical health and then our mental health.
Absolutely.
I mean, I want to ask you, Tinamarie, as a mom, how is it watching your daughter struggle and then watching her conquer this and share with other people?
Sure. Yeah, it was difficult. Like she said, it took us a while to know what was going on. As a mother, all you want to do is fix it, like right now, you know what I mean? Right. And clearly not fixable, but it is workable. And, we went from psychologist to psychologist, doctors, at the time she was still in public school. So public school got involved, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And we finally, after going to so many places, we went to the doctor one day. She wasn't feeling well, just a regular doctor. And I had mentioned it to him, and he said, yeah. I said, I've got somebody I can refer you to. And he referred us to Dr. Woods, who we've been with since she was 12. And she's incredible. She figured it out.
Started that young. Yeah. 11, 12. Yeah.
She figured it out right away. Realistically, we, did a little alterations with medicines back and forth until we got everything right. And she's been really great. So she's a continuance in our life. She's a part of our life now. But it's been, she is. She's wonderful. But it's been, it was really tough. It was really hard because people don't understand, especially when they see you and you seem fine, the schools didn't understand, the teachers didn't understand, nobody wanted to deal with it, and that sort of thing. As a mother, all you can do is try to protect your child. So when she's having a major meltdown and she doesn't want to go to school, the last thing you're going to do is try to force her into school, because you know how that day is going to end up when you do that. It got to the point, I'll be honest with you, I don't really talk about this much, but with the public school system, one of the reasons why I was so happy to be done with the whole thing was they were to the point where, if she has to miss another day because she isn't feeling good, they didn't understand. If she has to miss another day, whatever, they were going to call the police on me. Seriously, they were going to have me arrested. I mean, they would, they don't mess around. And I remember going to the doctor's office, and I remember the doctor telling the nurse, can you please write this mother a note so she doesn't go to prison over something ridiculous like this? He was so mad, but anyways, and, it all worked out. And now for her to be able to handle it the way she does and be able to help other people about it, be open, talk about it. Because so many people, they want to keep it under wraps. Don't let anybody know. Don't, whatever.
I was like that for a very long time.
Anybody though, right?
No.
So to help people, you got to get it out there in the open. Let them know it's not going to stop you. It doesn't bother you. You were going to help people if you can, and you're just going to keep on living your life, and that's it.
You may have the illness, but the illness is not you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that you guys are sharing and that we are breaking the stigma, because people talk about it a lot more. And I'm glad you brought that up, Tina, because I also had a daughter who had crazy anxiety. Terrible anxiety after my brother passed away. She could not go to school, and she wasn't trying to be disobedient or defiant or hard. She had real anxiety, and I was threatened with the same thing, going to jail, because people thought, oh, her mom's a mess and she's a mess and she's not. And I had never struggled with depression or anxiety, never in my life. until my brother passed away. And then I had it terribly. So people were like, what's wrong with her? And, but, I'm so grateful I went through it because I understand what I didn't understand before. And I feel like we need to recognize or just think that everybody might be having, going through things, and then we're kinder and we're nicer and we're more understanding and more accepting. But I just appreciate everything, every post you make and every time you speak up, both of you. Like, this is going to help so many people too, to see that
it's healing. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's healing for me too, because, for the longest time I kept it all to myself. So it's actually freeing for me to be able to say, I have this, I have this, I have this, this is what it is, and other people are able to identify with it and send me nice messages as well. Like, hey, I'm dealing with this as well. So it makes you feel better. And, there's plenty of times that my mom has saw me just crying, fetal position. She has seen me in my darkest times, but I think that's what made us so strong. Now, you know what I mean? And so it's helpful that I don't mean to make you I'm sorry, I saw you. I'm sorry. But it's one of those things that you really need to reach out for help, because if I did not reach out to my mom, and if my mom didn't reach out to the doctor to get me the help that I have now, I don't know what I'd be doing. I mean, I would probably be just in bed, not doing anything, not having any communication. I mean, it may have, I don't really know where I would have been. So it's so important to reach out to somebody, a loved one, a friend, talk to someone, the suicide prevention line. I mean, any connection that you can, I highly recommend, because it has helped me out of huge holes many times.
That is so awesome to tell people that. And I have come up with something to reach out, but if you can't reach out, reach in. And seriously, when I am feeling down and having a hard day, I will write a gratitude list. I will start to write what I'm grateful for. And pretty soon I get myself out of it. And I just these times that I've had in the last few months, I will realize that the next day, just if we can reach out that day, or if we can overcome it that day, because the next day, for some reason, it's not as bad as it was the day before. And each day gets better. But I also love that you shared medication and switching it, because some people have to go through different medications to find the right one. And it's hard. It's a long road and can be frustrating. But to know that you're at the right place now and on the right medication and smiling and so happy.
Yes. Yes, it's the best I've felt. I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do. I know a lot of people don't like the medication, but it really can help. But I also noticed that things like, taking walks around, around the block has helped me tremendously. Just reaching out to a friend, has helped me. When, getting out of the house is the main thing, because when you're in these four walls, you don't see the beautiful world that there is. You feel like, just hopelessness and, life, is just always going to be like this. It's always going to be miserable. But once you go outside, you see the birds, you see, the sun is still shining, you see, the flowers, you see how beautiful the world really is. And that really has helped me out tremendously too, so just get out there and just try your best, try to your best. Everybody's fighting with something. You know what I mean?
It's true. And you're so beautiful too. You're so beautiful and so bubbly and such a bright light. Both of you are. I also think it helps to meditate and, do energy work. That is a big thing that helps me too. But I want to move on to so for sponsors who want to support you, and of course, independent artists who want to become a part of the Josie Music Awards, tell them where they can find you online, and also tell us about all of your other brands.
Yes. Okay. So you can definitely find us on all of the social networking sites out there today. If you just type in the Josie Music Awards, we'll pop up pretty much everywhere. You can go to josiemusicawards.com. There's a sponsorship tab there if you're a business that's looking to branch out, that's interested in advertising with us. You can definitely do that. You can also sponsor a stage, at JMA Fest, and you can go to jmafest.com for that information. But yeah, oh my goodness, there's so many different
brands. Let's talk brands.
Yeah, there's so many different brands. Yeah, so brands.
So
let's talk brands.
The Josie Show, Country Blast Radio, Josie Music Awards, JMA Fest.
Confidently Ready.
Confidently Ready. The Independent Country Music Hall of Fame, which I am so proud about. They are going to the, I don't know what you want to call it, traveling walls, I guess.
Traveling wall,
instead of having a brick and mortar museum, there is a traveling walls that will be revealed for the very first time at JMA Fest this year for everybody that's in our Independent Music Hall of Fame. So we're so excited about that. Let's see, we've got the Bobby Ray Boone Music Foundation. We have got author
of books. I have a book out, The Artist Collection. Mm-hmm. Every music artist has a story. That's, I believe, still on Barnes & Noble online and also on Amazon. But we also have another book coming out for the 7th annual Josie Music Awards. We're almost there. Done. We're almost done. Writing a book takes a long time, but we're almost done with that. We also have Indie's Voice magazine, which is finally going to be able to be picked back up. It had a little hiatus due to COVID, but that's finally going to be able to come back. But yeah, we have all sorts of different things. And I feel like we're constantly adding as well. Like I feel like if there is a lack of something in this world, my brain is constantly moving. And I'm like, okay, what can we do? What can I do to help others and also promote at the same time? So you never know what we'll come up with in the future.
You are living proof that we can have way more than one dream, right?
We can.
Amazing. I also want to thank you guys. Chad and I are getting to sponsor a couple of the stages. And I wanted to tell you that because of you guys, like Creative Storage Solutions doesn't only support people in our community and different charities and things in our community, but after our very first Josie Music Awards, we began to support artists and musicians and just privately help them because of you, because we saw the stories and saw how they struggle and how they pour their heart and soul into everything that they do. So I want to thank you for that, because that is something wonderful. That we're really passionate about.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, well, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today that we didn't touch on?
Honestly, just come on out to the show. I mean, we'd love to see you all. I'm a hugger. So I'm ready. I'm ready to meet as many people as we can. What's really cool is we have so far in attendees for the Josie Music Awards, we have a person from every single state coming to represent, which is very at least one. We're very excited about that. We also have some great people coming from Canada, Ireland, Greece, Italy, Australia, Malaysia, South Africa.
South Africa.
South Africa. Yeah. So it's going to be a big old party this year. So come on out. We would love to have you. And JosieMusicAwards.com/tickets. You can get your tickets now and come on out to the Grand Ole Opry House.
They're selling out, so get them quick. I want to let you guys know that Jessie and I have ordered you diamond paperweights. And they say the Diamond Discovery, and they say for shining bright like a diamond, shining bright like her soul, and then your name on the bottom. Because
thank you.
You're such beautiful diamonds. And we want to thank you, Gems, for joining me today on the very first Diamond Discovery podcast. I've been waiting this for a long, long time. And it was such an honor and so important to me to spotlight the two of you for being diamonds in a rhinestone world, like Dolly says.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You really are.
Thank you.
And like I said earlier, may you be blessed a millionfold as you continue to shine your brightest. And I love watching you. I just love you guys. And I thank you, like, with all my heart.
We love you too.
To you too.
Yes, we love you too with all of our heart.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you in October.
I can't wait.
It's coming so fast.
I can't wait. It's coming. It's coming so fast. I'm excited. I'm getting ready for my hug, Amy. Get ready.
You're ready.
I can't wait. And you guys put Chad and I to work. We'll just be there helping. I don't know how you do all you do.
We'll do.
You got it.
We need lots of hands this year.
That's another thing that I should add. seriously, your shows are so put together and so organized and go without a flaw. Like you do a very professional job. So it deserves to be the Grand Ole Opry House.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
We would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to Creative Storage Solutions, who is our very first sponsor for the Diamond Discovery podcast. Creative Storage Solutions is owned and operated by my husband, Chad McAllister. I want to spotlight him and thank him and his amazing team for working their hearts out, blessing our community with beautiful cabinetry that transforms people's homes into their dream space. I also want to spotlight him for the way in which he gives back to all of the high school sports teams, the Doctors Volunteer Clinic, and many other charities in our community. He also very privately and doesn't want people to know, but gives back to musicians, artists, and people who are in need all around the world. So what I'm saying is when you call Creative Storage Solutions to organize and simplify your life with their state-of-the-art cabinetry, you are also giving back to help others in need. So thanks to you too. And if you live in Southern Utah, call Creative Storage Solutions at 435-673-7830. Because if you can dream it, they can do it.
We are diamonds from the sky that have fallen to the ground.